I'm Olivia, a 28 years old, living in Lincoln Park, Chicago. My neighborhood is peaceful, with tall trees, quaint shops, and friendly faces. Many people would say I have it all: a loving husband, a cozy apartment, and a stable job at a bookstore. But beneath the surface, I'm struggling. A year ago, I made a hasty decision and married Leo, a kind and gentle man who's always been there for me. The truth is, I didn't marry Leo out of love. I was still reeling from a painful breakup with my ex-boyfriend Alex. In a bid to move on quickly, I said yes to Leo's proposal. At that time, I thought marriage would bring me comfort and stability. But love never blossomed, and now I'm trapped in a loveless relationship. Leo is a wonderful person. He surprises me with flowers on Fridays, cooks dinner when I'm tired, and leaves sweet notes in my lunchbox. He calls me his sunshine and always greets me with a warm kiss on the forehead. Many women would consider themselves lucky to have a partner like him. Yet, I feel like I am living a lie, pretending to be happy when I am actually empty inside. One evening, we sat on our balcony, watching the stars twinkle above. Leo turned to me and said, "Olivia, I know you don't love me yet, but I believe you will. I'll wait for you, and my love will be enough for both of us." His words pierced my heart, and I felt like a terrible person. I wanted to scream the truth, but I stayed silent, afraid of hurting him. My mom once told me that love can grow over time, and marriage is about kindness, respect, and patience. I tried to believe her, but the days turned into weeks, and I felt like a stranger in my own life. I went through the motions, smiling and thanking Leo for his gestures, but my heart remained numb. One Friday evening, Leo planned a romantic dinner, complete with my favorite dish and candles. He wore the blue shirt I loved, and his eyes sparkled with hope, but I couldn't muster the emotions to appreciate his efforts. I felt like an actress playing a role, not living my own life. As the days went by, I felt increasingly suffocated. I confided in my best friend Nena, telling her about my feelings of emptiness and guilt. She advised me to be honest with myself and Leo, saying that maybe I needed space to understand my heart better. But I knew it wasn't about time. It was about the absence of love. I couldn't fake it anymore. When Leo asked me if I wanted to have a baby, I froze. The thought of bringing a child into a loveless relationship terrified me. I knew I had to be truthful with him, but the fear of hurting him held me back. One night, I packed a small bag, ready to leave, but as I stood by the door, looking at Leo's peaceful face, I couldn't bring myself to do it. I put the bag down and sat on the floor, crying quietly. The next morning, Leo made coffee for me, kissed my cheek, and said, "Good morning, my love." His words broke my heart. I realized I couldn't keep living like this, pretending to be someone I wasn't. I started writing letters to myself, trying to make sense of my emotions. I wrote about my feelings, my fears, and my hopes. Writing helped me clarify my thoughts and see my pain more clearly. A few days later, I gathered the courage to talk to Leo. I told him that I cared about him deeply, but I didn't love him. I explained that I married him to forget Alex, but it didn't work. Leo listened quietly, his face calm, but his eyes welled up with tears. He said softly, "I knew, Olivia. I saw it in your eyes. I just didn't want to believe it." We sat in silence for a long time, both of us lost in our thoughts. That night, I slept on the couch, feeling a mix of emotions: guilt, sadness, and relief. The next few days were quiet. Leo and I lived in the same apartment, but we didn't talk much. We both needed space to think. Eventually, I decided to move out, and Leo didn't seem surprised. He asked if I had a place to go, and I told him about Nana's offer. As I packed my belongings, Leo helped me carry my bags to the door. He said, "If you ever need anything, call me." I nodded, feeling a pang of sadness. "Thank you for everything, Leo. You were always good to me." He looked at me one last time and said, "Take care, Olivia." I left the apartment feeling a sense of uncertainty. I didn't look back as I left the apartment. Nana was waiting for me in her car, and we drove to her place. I stayed with her for a few weeks, trying to figure out my next steps. Nana was supportive, letting me cry and talk about my feelings whenever I needed to. I started going for long walks by the lake, watching people walk their dogs and ride bikes. It helped me clear my mind and feel more at peace. One day, I stumbled upon a flyer for a creative writing class at the community center. Something about it resonated with me, so I signed up. The class was small, with only 8 people. We wrote stories and shared them with each other. At first, I was hesitant, but as the weeks went by, I started to enjoy it. Writing helped me process my emotions and gain clarity on my thoughts. One evening, after class, I wrote something in my notebook. "I lost love before I even found it, but now I am finding myself." The sentence made me smile. As the weeks turned into months, I started to feel more like myself. I made new friends in the writing class, and we supported each other through our stories. I started to see a future beyond my current situation. Then one day, I received a message from Leo. He said he was doing okay, and he started a cooking class. He wished me peace and happiness, and I replied with a similar message. It was a small gesture, but it felt like a step towards closure. Months passed, and I found a small studio apartment near the bookstore. It was mine, and I loved it. I painted the walls light yellow, put flowers in the window, and hung a picture of the lake. Every morning, I'd sit by the window, watching the world go by, and feel a sense of freedom. I still thought about Leo and hoped he'd find someone who loved him truly. He deserved that. I, on the other hand, was learning to love myself. I was taking small steps, trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted. The writing class became my sanctuary. I wrote about my experiences, my fears, and my hopes. I started to see myself in a new light as a strong and capable person. One day I was sitting by the window, watching the world go by, when I received an unexpected visit from Leo. He stood outside my apartment, holding a small package. "I wanted to return something to you," he said, his eyes warm with kindness. My heart skipped a beat as I took this package from him. Inside, I found a small notebook with a note for the writer who inspired me. Leo explained that he'd stumbled upon my writing class and had been attending secretly. He'd been moved by my stories and wanted to support me. I was touched by his gesture, and as we talked, I realized that maybe, just maybe, I'd been too hasty in my judgment. Our conversation flowed easily, and I found myself laughing and sharing stories with Leo in a way I hadn't been able to during our marriage. As the evening drew to a close, Leo asked if he could join my writing class. I smiled, and we sat down together, side by side, to write our next story. As we sat down to write, I felt a sense of excitement and nervousness. I hadn't expected to reconnect with Leo, but there was something about his kind gesture that touched my heart. As we wrote, our words flowed effortlessly, and our stories intertwined in unexpected ways. The writing class became a sanctuary for both of us, a place where we could express ourselves freely and connect a deeper level. I found myself looking forward to the classes, and Leo's presence became a source of comfort and inspiration for me. As the weeks went by, I realized that I was developing feelings for Leo again, but this time they were different. I saw him a new light, as a kind and supportive partner who appreciated me for who I was. One evening, as we sat together, writing in our notebooks, Leo turned to me and said, "I'm glad I stumbled upon your writing class. I felt like I've gotten to know you again, and I like what I see." I smiled, feeling a sense of hope and possibility. "I've gotten to know you too," I said, "and I'm grateful for this second chance." Our fingers touched as we wrote, and I felt a spark of electricity. I looked up at Leo, and our eyes met, filled with a newfound understanding and affection. Leo and my story wasn't perfect, but it was real. We'd made mistakes, and we'd learned from them, As we sat together, writing our next chapter, we knew that we still had a lot to explore, but we were ready to face it together. And so our story continued, a tale of love, loss, and redemption, written in the pages of our notebooks and in the depths of our hearts. If the story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. More emotional and inspiring stories are coming soon.